Want to play the lottery with your savings account? It is not as risky as it sounds. Let me ask you a question first. What would you rather have? A 100% chance of winning 1 rupee or a 1% chance of winning 100 rupees? If you use statistics, the expected or average payoff in both these cases are the same. Decision will also depend on the risk appetite of an individual, whether they are risk loving or risk averse. But people do not calculate expected payoffs or risk appetite of individuals while answering such questions. They tend to go with the second option. It is deep rooted in the study of behavior. One reason people choose the second option is due to the availability effect. Since there is the availability of a large prize and how certain lucky individuals have won it in the past, people have an unrealistic assumption that they are going to win it. They ignore the fact that when these lucky individuals won the prize, there were millions who did not win it. This is the same reasoning used by millions every day while buying lottery tickets. If they win, they feel the stars have aligned and their family would not have to work a day in their lives. If they do not, they have lost only a couple of bucks. The odds seem favorable even if they realistically are not. Now, imagine if this psychology could be used to induce positive change, specifically in the personal finance sector. This is what price linked saving accounts aim to do. These are also known as no lose lottery. What are PLS accounts? Price linked savings accounts put a twist on normal savings account by using the effective interest rate in a different way. Rather than allocating interest to each account holder, banks pool the interest that would be given out into prize bundles. They enter each account holder into a raffle. A draw is made and the winners of the raffles are allocated the prize bundle that have been formed with the pooled interest. To make this clearer, let me give an example. Assume that you have $10,000 in your PLS account and your friend has $20,000 in theirs. Let us say that the scheme both of you have enrolled in entitles you to one raffle ticket per $50 held in your respective accounts. This would enter 200 tickets in your name and 400 tickets in your friend's name. Then, the standard procedure of a raffle is conducted and the winners are awarded the pooled interest from all accounts in the scheme. Why this works? The most important part of behavioral psychology that PLS accounts tap into is the notion of loss aversion. PLS accounts present themselves as alternatives to lotteries, with one key feature. It is a no lose lottery. While a lottery loss means that one has lost the initial investment of buying the lottery tickets, a loss in the PLS does not lead to a loss of anything. All the money being deposited remains as it is. To anyone, this would seem like an extremely attractive offer. Why put money in a normal savings account that earns interest that is close to nothing instead of putting your money in an account where you have a chance to perhaps buy a new TV or a car or even a house? The product has been tremendously successful in about 20 countries. The main goal was to induce the habit of savings in people. It was rolled out in the UK in 1956 as premium bonds. In the US, unfortunately, this product was illegal, but they found a loophole in the state of Michigan that allowed them to offer this product. The product was called Save to Win and was launched in January of 2009. Save to Win awarded its first $100,000 prize to an 87-year-old woman who won it after depositing just $75 in her credit union savings account. A handful of credit unions in Michigan were able to open over 11,500 accounts. Save to Win had surveyed some of these customers. 51% had no savings plan prior to this. Close to 60% had spent money on the lottery and gambling in the past 6 months. Other countries like Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Iran, Japan, and Sri Lanka have banks that provide these services. In Iran, which is the world's largest Islamic finance markets by assets, price-linked savings accounts are the most common form of saving accounts available to the public, as they are viewed as a gambling-free lottery to compliance with Islamic law by Iranian scholars. It also complies with the Islamic law stating that it is illegal to have guaranteed interest on an asset. Another successful example of PLS accounts is the First National Bank of South Africa. In 2005, they started a million a month account, also abbreviated as MAMA. It was born out of South Africa's financial problems as the country struggled to put apartheid era behind it. 56% of black South Africans were unbanked versus 7% of white Africans. Nearly 72% of low income South Africans were unbanked. Since so much of the population in South Africa was unbanked, majority of the savings were sitting under the matrices. In such a case, money cannot be harnessed to fund economic growth as this funding comes from consumers and then lent out to businesses that then creates jobs. The other problem is that these people are secluded from the banking framework and miss out on benefits like building credit history and are exposed to hard cash getting stolen. Mama was so successful that they opened accounts for 7.1% of all banked South Africans and brought 1.1% of the unbanked into the banking system. Other banks took note and complained to regulators. Even the South African National Lottery went to the Supreme Court and was successful in shutting the MAMA program down. They said that FNB's MAMA program was against the state lottery's right to be the only game in town. By the time they closed, they had $200 million. People were so eager to open an account in the PLS account that the cost of acquiring a new customer fell from $300 to just $5. 20% of Mama accounts were opened by people who were previously unbanked. Even though this was not the majority, this 20% came in just the first 3 years of the program. 14 months after the Mama program was shut down, the bank continued to maintain 53% of the accounts and 83% of the balances that had originated due to the program. Those accounts simply changed to traditional saving accounts in the same bank. What problems have arisen? One of the fundamental issues with this policy is the effect it has on state-run lotteries. PLS accounts are a no-lose lottery. Why would anyone play the traditional lottery instead of enrolling in a price-linked saving account? The no-lose lottery of PLS accounts makes it much more attractive. It would draw an exceptionally large part of the lottery players as well as government revenue away. This is precisely why state lotteries have sued many banks, including the First National Bank in South Africa, and have often won. Moreover, if banks would be allowed to run lottery schemes like this, it may provide a precedent that might help to legalize other forms of gambling run by other institutions. To summarize, I would say that there are a lot of incentives for PLS accounts to run in developing countries, especially in those with abysmal savings rate. It was clearly seen to increase the savings rate in Michigan and South Africa. Rather than seeing PLS as the competition, governments can create state-sponsored PLS accounts in their respective nationalized banks, which would give them the benefit of having more savings at their disposal and perhaps increase liquidity in the financial system. Professor Benjamin Iverson of Northwestern Kellogg School of Management also believes that these schemes can help to beat the poverty trap. He states that the incremental interest earned on savings accounts fail to make a dent in people's income, but large prices like those from PLS accounts can help them to get out of the trap. Normal savings account is like putting your money in a institute where you earn interest enough to buy you a coffee every month. Now it is your call. Either drink a coffee every month or give up on that coffee and have a chance to win enough to completely change your life. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.